Hello, I'm Luke Ford, and I'm just back from the movie Married Life. New movie starring Chris North and the bloke who used to play James Bond. So, 2007 movie, director Ira Sachs, Pierce Brosnan, Chris Cooper, Patricia Clarkson, Rachel McAdams are the major stars. So, this evening, perhaps I should have been at the Find Your Bashert, Your Chosen One, course at David Suisse's house, but I went off to the movies. I love the movies. I love to break out of the routine and get lost in fantasy. I tend to do that naturally, just walking around on Pico Boulevard. Just get lost in fantasies. As a kid, I would sit there in a chair and just tell myself stories for hours at an end. So I'm heading down La Cienega Boulevard south, and my body starts reacting because it used to be whenever I took this route to Culver City, meant there was a young, beautiful woman that I was going to hook up with. And I know some people might say that sex was meaningless, but it was not meaningless to me. Perhaps that's because I'm so spiritually and morally sensitive. That must be it. So I go into the Sony lot, and I love movie lots. I love the movie industry. And I love it when people have my name on the list as promised, and I love getting invites to these things. And it's a real change from showing up to events and not being on the list. And they always ask, who are you with? I say, I write LukeFord.net. It's a website about Los Angeles. And most of the times they've never heard of it. If they're desperate for coverage, they'll give me a press pass anyway. Only on occasion they say, oh, I know who you are. So anyway, I'm a little shook up by this movie, Married Life. And the tagline is, do you know what really goes on in the mind of the person with whom you sleep? And it's about an adulterous man who's very much in love with this beautiful young woman played by Rachel McAdams. And this adulterer doesn't want his wife to suffer, so he plots to kill her so that she dies painlessly. And I found it upsetting because when I watch a movie, that's not various characters up on a screen. That's me on the screen. You know, I always want to be the hero in my own movie. So last night I was watching No Country for Old Men. It was hard for me because there's no hero to identify with in that movie. And so when I see this man who's happily married and yet he's screwing around with this beautiful younger woman, I can identify. Not that I would act like that, but I can understand it. Rachel McAdams, she's gorgeous. And the way he would start justifying things, and I'm really good at rationalizing things. And then, he just starts with screwing around, and suddenly he's contemplating murder, which is a frightening possibility. How unsafe the world becomes when you try to move outside the moral universe, the Tory universe. And it just made me feel upset and unsafe just watching the movie and seeing myself as the older adulterer with the beautiful young woman. So I don't want to end up like that. I want to stay within the Torah corral. I want to build something meaningful with my life. I don't want to just play a role in movies of my own devising, all these comedies of errors that I blog. I want to build. And I don't want to end up like Chris Cooper in this movie or in the other one where he sold out, the movie Heist, where he sold out the United States, the Soviet Union, just so he could feel important. So I'm upset.